My name is Tanya, and I am a credit repair specialist and credit repair owner of 720 FICO Club. So, in this video, I want to share some of the common credit repair mistakes that I see and want you to avoid. Credit repair is a process. It starts with you being able to get removed or corrected inaccurate information that's on your credit report. It also entails changing your spending patterns to be able to raise your score and rebuild your credit and be able to avoid further credit problems. Now, you can do this yourself. You can take care of everything on your own, or you can work with a credit repair company. There's always going to be a chance of making mistakes and omissions, regardless of your choice here. So, before we do move on to discussing some of the most common mistakes to avoid when you are trying to repair your credit, if you need help with this process, see the link in the description and in comments. I have an ultimate DIY kit that covers everything that you need to know and do when it comes to repairing your credit. You are going to have access to over 200 letters, over 200 dispute reasons, DIY software with letters preloaded, a private Facebook support group for members only. We are going to go step by step in disputing and filing CFPB complaints if need be. We'll also look for reporting violations, and if we spot any, there is a consumer law attorney on hand. So check out the link. Speaking of consumer law, let's talk about a few things when it comes to your rights as a consumer. There are a number of laws that encourage the accuracy and the safeguarding to consumers when it comes to credit, including the Fair Credit Reporting Act, also known as the FCRA. There is the Credit Repair Organizations Act, known as CROA. There is the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, known as the FDCPA, and the Fair and Accurate Credit Transactions Act, known as FACTA. Here are just some of the key components of these laws. All consumers must have free access to their credit reports at least once a year. Consumers are allowed to dispute credit report errors, and credit bureaus must remove them if these errors cannot be verified. Your credit information cannot be provided to someone else without your permission. You must be informed each time your credit report is used to reject a credit application, for example. The amount of time a derogatory mark can stay in your credit report must be regulated. Creditors must follow strict rules when getting in touch with you regarding your debt, which doesn't permit them to inform your family about your debt or make threats. Credit repair agencies are not allowed to lie to your creditors or misrepresent the scope or the efficiency of their services. Furthermore, they can't encourage you to falsify documents or alter your identity in any way. If you are not provided with a contract with a 3-day cooling off period or cancellation period, you may be dealing with an unreputable firm. So, learning about your rights is the tip of the iceberg. But don't worry, I got you in the DIY Credit Academy group. Another crucial component of this puzzle is to not make your credit situation worse while you're attempting to raise your score. So, let's get into some of these mistakes, starting with mistake number one: avoiding credit education. More information is always better, whether you're looking to clear up or correct inaccurate information that's on your credit report, or maybe you just want to pay down debt and create a better financial future. This includes everything from being aware of some of the repercussions of missing a payment, or the ideal circumstances for requesting a credit line increase, or learning how to handle your debt and challenge inaccurate information on your reports. I see people making costly mistakes when they go about the dispute process wrong, disputing every negative item on the credit report, which can actually decrease your credit score, especially if you have a thin credit profile and you don't have enough positive trade lines reporting. And this leads into mistake number two: trying to dispute everything. It makes sense to dispute the negative marks that you believe to be incorrect or inaccurate. But I see a lot of people and even credit repair companies trying to dispute every negative item, trying to get every negative item removed in hopes that the effort will pay off. The problem with this strategy is twofold. The credit bureaus are unlikely to take it seriously when you're trying to dispute everything. And as a result, your request could be brushed aside. And if you keep on disputing the same thing over and over and over, the credit bureaus can mark your dispute as being frivolous. And you don't want that, because once marked as frivolous, the credit bureaus are not obligated to do anything with it. No, they're done investigating it. Also, disputing every item could result in the removal of data, key data that you actually need and want on your credit reports, like payment history that's helping your credit. So remember, you get rewarded for having accounts longer term, having payment history. Payment history makes up 35% of your FICO credit score. If you are working on your credit yourself or you're working with a credit repair company, you really need to be strategic in what gets disputed and what gets left alone. Also, it's important that your dispute go to the right party. I wouldn't recommend sending dispute letters to your original creditors. It's not a good idea. In most cases, you're going to be sending your dispute letters to the credit bureaus or the collection agencies. Number three is falling for a credit repair scam. I've talked to so many people who have paid hundreds or thousands in fees to get their credit repaired by companies that took their money and did very little. And I question if some of these were really legitimately established and registered credit repair companies. I mean, you can hire a credit repair company, although they do what you can learn to do in my DIY Credit Repair Academy. I see them charging one time fees, onboarding fees, a monthly fee, or some do a charge for each deletion. But you should be aware that there are so many what I call dubious companies that offer credit repair services, and they prey on desperate customers by guaranteeing and promising to repair their credit history in a matter of weeks. There's a law called CROA, and I'll do a video on this. It's Credit Repair Organizations Act, and it explicitly forbids credit repair companies from making guarantees and promises. You really should avoid offers that seem too good to be true here, because they usually are. So if you're going to work with a credit repair company, make sure that you review your rights before you sign the contract. Even if you choose to work with a reputable company that will actually assist you in repairing your credit, make sure you review everything, you understand your rights, you understand the blueprint that they are going to use to dispute your credit, that you know which accounts they plan on disputing versus leaving alone, all of that. This is exactly why I started the Credit Academy, which comes with the purchase of my Ultimate DIY Kit. Mistake number four, ignoring debt collections in hopes that they will go away. I would not ignore debt collections. I see a lot of people getting wages garnished as a result of doing this. Just today, I saw someone who is getting their paychecks garnished. They were shocked, but they owed a debt totaling $28,000, a car that was repossessed. And as a result, there's really not a whole lot that one can do once you get to wage garnishments, because at this point a judge has ruled in favor of this with the debt collector. When you get a collection notice, you want to see if that debt is outside of what's called its statute of limitations, which is basically the length of time in which a collector can legally sue you for it. If you go to my DIY credit repair playlist or you do a search of my channel, I've got a video on this. And as a matter of fact, I will post the link in the comments below. It's really important for you to know the debt time clock and the reporting time clock on your debts. If your debt is within the statute of limitations, you want to request that the credit bureaus verify the debt by verifying that they are accurately reporting on the debt. And you want the debt collectors to validate the debt, basically to prove that they have the right to collect on that debt and to furnish you with proof of that debt if it's reporting correctly in your credit report. If they cannot do this, then they need to stop reporting on it. So this ties into mistake number five, paying an old debt. Paying an old debt that has passed its statute of limitations is one of the worst mistakes that I've seen made when trying to repair one's credit. Making a payment can reactivate, restart that debt clock, resulting in that negative item remaining on your credit report for a lot longer than it would have if you hadn't. So it's really important not to make any payments if you're not sure of the status of your debt until you've researched it yourself and until the debt collector provides you with evidence that your debt is one, legitimate, and two, current. Remember that debt collectors may try to intimidate you into making a payment, and for this reason, I recommend written communication only. Mistake number 6, late payments. Late payments are another crucial blunder that you want to steer clear of when you are attempting to repair your credit. Prioritizing payments is wise, but skipping a payment is not. The explanation, I think, for this is pretty straightforward. If you don't follow repayment schedules, your credit will continue to deteriorate. I saw again today someone shared that they had made a payment late. As a result, it dropped their score over 70 points. They did not mean to miss the payment. They're in the process of closing on a home, and their credit will get pulled one more time by their lender, and they don't know what to do because now their score has dropped 70 points and it's below the minimum credit score that they need in order to qualify for the loan. Charge off accounts are those that have already been referred to with collections. They may be the only exception to this rule. So I would not dispute a late payment on a charge off account. Always choose a current account if you have to choose between making a payment on a collection account or another one that is due. Mistake number 7, canceling credit card accounts. So I get it. After going through a bad credit period, many people swear off credit cards. I've done the same. However, considering that about 1/3 of your credit score is based on your credit history, closing a credit card account is not always a good idea because without these pieces of plastic, you're going to have a hard time qualifying for personal loans or other types of credit. Also, credit cards, when used responsibly, can help boost your credit score as you go through the credit repair process. So instead of cutting up the card, maintain a small balance, make regular monthly payments. While it might take a little bit of discipline to avoid falling into credit card debt, you're going to be rewarded for it with an increased credit score. Mistake number 8, submitting too many applications for new credit. Your chances of being approved for more credit while you're trying to fix your credit are kind of slim, especially if you're trying to apply for a big name unsecured credit card like a Visa or a MasterCard. I think it goes without saying that you should not be using up hard inquiries on credit applications that are just going to get denied. A number of hard credit pulls in a short period of time can ultimately lower your score and auto deny you if you are trying to apply for credit. So focus on raising your credit score, cleaning up your credit profile, and waiting until your credit starts to improve before you go out there and apply for new credit. There are many more credit repair mistakes that I see both individuals and even credit repair companies making. I could literally go on, but I do have my little pug barking in the background. I am sorry if you can hear him yapping, but it is dinner time. So I will do a part 2. And my ask is if this video helped you, please like it and hit subscribe to my channel so that you can stay notified and learn more about credit.